I'm going to say something that might make you lean in. What if today's chaos isn't random? What if ancient ideas? What if modern power? What if our fears about World War III are colliding right now? Let's talk about the so-called Greater Israel Project. Let's talk about the specter of a global war. Let's talk about prophecies about a returning Messiah. Big claims need careful handling. I'm sticking to sources, context, belief, policy, speculation. First, what people mean by Greater Israel. In the Bible, the land promised to Abraham stretches from the Nile to the Euphrates. It inspired faith. It inspired debate. It inspired political rhetoric. In modern times, the phrase gets used as a theological vision, a historical curiosity, and controversially, as an accusation of expansion far beyond today's borders. Here's the key. There is no official Israeli government policy declaring conquest from river to river. Israeli politics are messy, divided, and very public. You'll find fringe voices. You'll find peace activists. You'll find pragmatic security hawks. You'll find leaders focused on survival. Reality is shaped by wars, peace deals, international law, demographics, and energy routes, not by a single secret blueprint. So why does the idea persist? Israel-Palestine, Iran, Israel tensions, proxy clashes in Lebanon, Syria, Yemen. They interlock like gears. When one spins, the others grind. Add great power rivalry, US, Russia, China, plus global energy shocks and disinformation. Suddenly, it can look like a master plan. Now, World War III. Analysts watch a direct Iran-Israel war, a miscalculation dragging in the US and NATO, an escalation involving Russia or regional coalitions. The risk isn't zero, but war isn't fate. Deterrence, back-channel talks, and domestic politics still slow the march to catastrophe. What about prophecy and the Messiah? Many Jews, many Christians, and many Muslims hold end-times beliefs. Prophecy can comfort, prophecy can warn, prophecy can inspire personal change. It can also be misused to claim dates, to weaponize maps and enemies. Serious scholars urge humility, interpret carefully, avoid fatalism. So are we watching a plan unfold? I think we're watching layers, ancient stories shaping identities, modern states pursuing security and influence, and media amplifying the loudest claims. Patterns appear, not because everything is planned, but because humans find meaning in chaos. Here's my take. Study history. Follow credible reporting. Separate what's sacred from what's strategic. Question maps that promise glory and ignore grief. If you believe in a Messiah, live like it means protecting the innocent, not predicting the next strike. If this helped you breathe and think in a noisy week, tap like, share it. Tell me what you want unpacked next. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep your radar on. Between headlines and prophecies are people who make choices. Choices can change the story.
Greater Israel Project WW3 and the Second Coming of the Messiah. Are we just watching random, chaotic conflicts flare up around the globe? Or is it possible we're seeing a plan, set in motion thousands of years ago, finally starting to unfold? While the daily headlines are filled with turmoil in the Middle East, there's a controversial and rarely discussed ambition that might be the key to understanding it all: the Greater Israel Project. In this video, we're going to explore the explosive connection between this ancient biblical vision, the growing threat of a Third World War, and the prophecies of the Messiah's return. The unseen plan. What is the Greater Israel Project? At its heart, the Greater Israel Project is an ultra-nationalist Zionist idea for a Jewish state with much larger borders than it has today. The most expansive version of this vision is rooted in biblical scripture, specifically the description of a promised land stretching from the Nile River in Egypt to the Euphrates River in Iraq. These scriptures, like the one in Genesis 15:18, are used by some ultranationalists to argue that these lands were divinely granted. But this isn't just about ancient texts. The idea has influenced political thought for over a century. Theodor Herzl, the founder of modern political Zionism, focused his efforts on securing a Jewish homeland in the region of Palestine, though he didn't publicly push for a Nile to Euphrates border. A more defined expansionist view came from Ze'ev Jabotinsky, whose revisionist Zionism in the 1920s openly called for an Israeli state on both banks of the Jordan River, which would include modern-day Jordan. While Israel has never officially claimed these maximalist borders, the ideology is influential among certain political factions. Some far-right members of the Israeli government, like Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, have openly supported expansionist ideas. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu himself has stated he is on a historic and spiritual mission and feels very connected to the idea of a greater Israel. These statements are often paired with policies like settlement expansion in the West Bank, which critics argue are practical steps that undermine a two-state solution and serve a larger territorial goal. From ideology to conflict, a pathway to world war? So, how does a territorial vision connect to the threat of a global war? The pursuit of a greater Israel, even unofficially, is a source of profound regional instability. The rhetoric of territorial expansion into areas of modern-day Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt is viewed by neighboring countries as a serious threat. In recent years, tensions have only escalated. The United Nations has repeatedly condemned Israeli settlement expansion in the occupied West Bank, stating the practice violates international law and undermines prospects for a just and lasting peace. Observers note that some Israeli officials view military actions not merely as defensive, but as potential steps toward realizing a larger territorial vision. This is where current events can seem to echo ancient warnings. The Bible speaks of wars and rumors of wars as a sign of the end times. In Matthew 24, Jesus says that nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom before his return. While this is a matter of interpretation, not proven fact, many eschatological narratives frame the intense conflicts in the Middle East, particularly those involving Israel, as prophesied precursors to a final, world-altering battle, often called Armageddon. This view transforms what looks like random chaos into a deeply rooted historical and spiritual drama. The prophetic climax, the second coming. This is where geopolitics and biblical prophecy converge in the most dramatic way. For many Christian Zionists and those who follow a dispensationalist view of Scripture, the restoration and even expansion of Israel are seen as critical preconditions for the second coming of Jesus. This interpretation suggests that as Israel moves to fulfill what they see as its biblical destiny, it will trigger a great period of tribulation, drawing in global powers and culminating in the Battle of Armageddon. It's in this climactic moment according to this view, that the Messiah will return to defeat the forces of evil, save the nation of Israel, and establish his kingdom on earth. This belief system is a powerful driver of political support for Israel, particularly in the United States. Some influential leaders have openly stated their belief that current events are prophetically on cue and part of a divine plan. Of course, the Jewish and Christian views on the Messiah differ significantly. In Jewish eschatology, the Messiah's arrival is expected to bring about the restoration of Israel to its biblical lands and usher in an era of global peace. While the identities and outcomes are different, both traditions see a restored Israel as absolutely central to the final chapter of history. One key difference between Jewish and Christian eschatology is the man of sin, or, in other words, the Antichrist. From the Christian perspective, a false Messiah shows up first to deceive the Jews, but it's the timing that makes it so deceptive. He ushers in peace out of chaos, then betrays them. Conclusion. Understanding the Greater Israel ideology doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but it offers a critical lens for viewing escalating global events. It shows that for many influential figures, the conflicts we see today aren't just about politics, but about the fulfillment of prophecy. This perspective doesn't have to be a source of fear. For believers, prophecies of war are always paired with a message of ultimate hope and divine control. As Jesus said, "Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near." What are your thoughts on this? Is there a connection between ancient prophecy and modern conflict, or is it all just a coincidence? Let us know in the comments below, and if you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who are trying to understand the deeper forces shaping our world.
Can I uncover if World War III is secretly tied to the prophetic plan for Greater Israel? The concept of Greater Israel has been a topic of discussion for centuries, with roots in biblical prophecy. It's essentially the idea of a restored Jewish state that encompasses a larger region, often interpreted from passages in the Hebrew Bible. This vision of a Greater Israel has captivated many, sparking debates about its connection to current events. Connecting the dots between ancient prophecies and modern geopolitics can be tricky. It's easy to get caught up in sensationalism or misinterpretation, which can lead to more confusion than clarity. We need to approach this topic with a critical eye, recognizing the complexities of both prophecy and geopolitics. The stakes are high, as misinterpretation can fuel unnecessary fear or hatred. Careful consideration is essential. Some biblical prophecies often cited in discussions of Greater Israel include passages from the books of Ezekiel and Zechariah. These prophecies speak of a time when Israel will be restored and its borders will expand. In the Middle East, current events like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and tensions with neighboring countries are often seen by some as steps toward fulfilling these prophecies. While it's not about making direct correlations, it's hard to ignore the perceived connections. The relationship between prophecy and geopolitics is complex. Some see current events as part of a prophetic plan, while others view them as complex struggles between nations and interests. It's a matter of faith and interpretation, not necessarily a literal blueprint for current events. Different perspectives offer varying views on whether we're witnessing the unfolding of a prophetic plan or simply the messy business of human conflict. The debate surrounding these connections is intense, with valid arguments on multiple sides. Some see the hand of prophecy at work, while others see only geopolitics at play. Do you believe current events are part of a prophetic plan, or are they purely geopolitical? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more discussions on history and prophecy.
for Kids, Volume 2. Available August 15, 2025 on Amazon. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Children. Color 30 fun designs of inspirational verses and Christian artwork. A beautiful children's coloring book designed to fill your child's mind with the positive words of God's love. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Kids was designed to be a fun yet effective way to help children calm their tension. Hand-lettered quotes and adorable hand-designed illustrations will inspire your child as they reflect on God's promises.